I just clicked start recording.
Oh man,
Vader, this is the first episode of the show we've been wanting to do, Lizardcast. What do you think about that?
this is the first Lizardcast. I like that idea. I think we can have a lot of fun with this.
We can literally talk about anything ever that has ever existed, but since this is the first episode, I would like you to introduce yourself as the co-host, as in who you are as a person.
Well, my name is Veter. Most people call me Vick because they can't pronounce my name properly. I live in a place, I'm a person, and, yeah.
Mr. Veeder, what is it that you do on YouTube.com?
I do shitty edits that, never go anywhere, and I don't really care.
That's pretty fair. Well,
I also do a lot of behind-the-scenes work for other people.
yeah, so if you came from another channel and found this one, chances are Veeder edited that video. Because he...
Yeah, either edited or I do a lot of, like, SEO and marketing type of shit on it.
Basically, you're smart and you make things work.
Yeah, stuff work. Pretty cool, dude.
You're the whale in the well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I'm the dude.
You're the
Accept
dude.
me. I'm the.
You're the V. The Veeder.
I'm the leader.
Yeah. Alright, so in this, like, okay, so with Resident Evil 8, what's your, because, like, I want to do, like, of course, right now I'm just going to say, like, there's going to be spoilers in this. So if you haven't watched a single Let's Play or anything about the game, and you don't want it spoiled, I guess click off now.
Yeah, I guess if you're autistic, just click off.
Well, I don't want all the viewers to leave either, but...
Oh, damn, shit. Fuck.
But, yeah, so what do you think about the game overall?
Of Resident Evil 8?
Yeah, like, what
Village?
do you think about it? Yeah, Village.
Aw, dude. I think it's awesome. Honestly, it's a really big step up from... I'm talking like I'm a fucking game journalist. I just think it's like a nice, step up from the last game, because the last game, even though I really like it, I do admit it is kind of shit-ass boring. But yeah.
Yeah,
I like it. It's a
liked...
really good game. I like how well it like fits in with the rest of the Resident Evil universe.
Yeah, I also really love the game. Like, I didn't like 7, not because I didn't hate the game, it's just that, like, I always felt like I was not experiencing, like, the fullest of where it could go. Like, as soon as you get into one area, it's over. It's just like, well, I barely got a taste of whatever that could have been. Or
Yeah,
they
kinda.
never really pushed the limit with anything. But with 8, I feel like it's structured better, and there's a lot more juiciness to the game.
Plus, it's a way more open world, which I can really appreciate.
Yeah, but as the title of this podcast is why game journalists are, not that great.
Oh yeah,
What do you think about game journalists, Peter? What pops in your mind?
I think they're fucking retarded.
You do.
Just straight up retarded.
They're all brain damage. I mean, I think there's some good ones out there, but I don't, with this game in, like, specific, it's just, you'll open a review and they'll be like, okay guys, the game isn't bad, but I thought that it wasn't good. Like, you don't really, like...
The game isn't bad, but I think there weren't enough people of color representing my race there, so, not very good. I'll give it a 3 out of 10, but fuck you.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was even a thing. Was that a thing? People got upset about that on Twitter, that there were no brown people in Romania?
Not even Twitter, it was just genuinely a fucking review of the game, and it pisses me off.
Huh. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
thought that, I don't know, because a lot of reviewers are really upset about the game since, like, they feel like there's too much action in it, which I didn't feel like there was too much action in it.
Have you ever played any other Resident Evil game, Mr. Game Journalist?
No,
That
because
doesn't play other games?
they always talk about, like, the original games that came out literally, like, 25 years ago that were products of their time. They were, like, top-down puzzle games, and then they're, like, trying to compare them for some reason.
Kinda autistic, man, not gonna lie.
I don't know, cause like it never made any sense to me, cause you don't see any like GTA fans like ever saying like, oh, I really wish GTA 5 was like Chinatown Wars.
Yeah, I don't get why they like the old games so much. It's like it's the same thing as saying like, "Oh, I wish Doom 2016 was 2D and shitty, and you can run it on a fucking calculator." Like, no.
I mean, like nostalgia is one thing, and I do get
Hmm.
being blinded by nostalgia. I mean, I'm blinded by nostalgia by a lot of things, but I can admit
Yeah, you are.
that I can say like I like it and I acknowledge its flaws, rather than
Hmm.
like these game reviewers being like, hey, despite this game being really good, it's just not good because it's not like the game that came out 30 years ago.
Yeah. Um, I don't know, man. I just think that game journalists, at least, their opinions don't matter anymore, so people don't really care.
Yeah, and what's even worse is like, with this goes for any game, but like there would be these game journalists that are just like, they'll literally like bait people in by saying like how the game, like just by like a crappy thumbnail, it's like saying the game is the worst ever in this category, and then like they put up this big performance about it, and then their autistic fan base is just like starts spreading that as fact, and
Yeah,
it
and then
just domino effects.
and then they say that fucking The Last of Us 2 was amazing.
I guess that's another thing, The Last of Us 2. I never actually watched a full Let's Play of it.
I have finished a Let's Play of it, and it's one of my favorite YouTubers watching. And I
Yeah.
can actually, agree with him being incredibly pissed with, like, the way the story goes. It's not as bad as people say, honestly. There's a lot of, like, just hate for hate there because, your character gay or whatever. The- the- I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like there's people, stupid people from all sides on that.
Yeah, I mean, take my opinion as like a grain of salt here since I never actually watched a Let's Play, but like just seeing like how the game flows about, it really discourages me from playing the first one.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I genuinely didn't hate it. I think it was a good game, but I
Mm-hmm.
think they should have like focused on like I don't know, like instead of like bringing actually fuck it's so like retarded the way that they made it that I can't think of like a different way they could have gone about it. It's
I mean, yeah, they kind of set themselves up for failure by killing Joel in the first 20 minutes
yeah, that happens.
with a golf club
I
for
mean, it's not
some
really.
reason.
It takes like a while because like once you get back into the game, they start building up Joel as like this really loving father, and like for like an hour, and then you like go on a mission with him, and then you as Ellie, you have like a lot of fun with Joel, and like you kill zombies and shit, and then
But isn't
oh wait, you're a lesbian and you hate him because he tried to protect you, and for some reason. And then, you never say sorry to Joel, and then he fucking dies. And
yeah,
then,
it's just like she
and then it's
hates
just
Joel because he stopped her
he
from being killed. Like,
not even being killed, just from being like ridiculed in public by a fucking dude, just because she kills the girl, and then she's like, yeah, back off, and she's like, oh, you don't need to protect me. It's just so fucking stupid. Like, Bro, have some fucking respect for the man that saved your dumb ass in the first place.
Dude, Naughty Dog should just go back to making Sly Cooper games.
Or no, I don't trust him with Sly Cooper.
Don't even trust them with a
No,
third-person platformer.
because like Bentley's gonna be like trans or something.
Trans Bentley. Oh no.
I just no, it's bad. I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, all their senior writing staff quit from that game, didn't they?
I don't know anything about the drama in the game. I'll be perfectly
I
honest.
think the story was that the senior writing staff just got so fed up with all the conflicting opinions that they just quit. So I feel like that might have been a source for a lot of the bad decisions, because they probably had like semi-scripts made, and then they probably just was like bandaged them together to this really choppy crap story where characters make no good decisions.
I don't know. I can't tell you like what's what in that regard.
Yeah, it's weird. I think that's a perfect textbook example of how not to, at least not to write a AAA game story. But yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just retarded, I guess, in my opinion.
Anyways, speaking of stories, one of the reviews, because I've watched a couple of reviews just to like have a basis of like what I want to talk about with like Resident Evil 8 and the reviews that make no sense for it. Like there was one review where the dude was like, the story itself isn't important in a Resident Evil game.
What do you mean, dude?
Yeah, like the dude was just like, he was on about like talking about like the puzzles and like horror are more important than the story, but there's like
What?
a literal Harry Potter / Lord of the Rings level style just lore to everything.
Yeah, there is.
That's the
and
point
people
of Resident Evil.
Like, what do you mean? Wait, lore doesn't matter? What do you mean lore doesn't matter?
Yeah, it was
Fucking-
funny. All the comments were like, did this dude really just say that the story isn't important?
Yeah, the entire fucking game franchise is based around this like one universe where everything is connected, and bitch says, "Oh no, story doesn't matter, dude." It's the same thing as saying like, "Oh, all the Harry Potter books shouldn't be like related, and they should follow like a different character each time." No one would buy that shit because you're fucking autistic.
Yeah, no, that.
Stop. Yeah.
Well,
What the fuck? Story isn't important. Did someone genuinely say that?
yeah, he genuinely said that. He said that this is
That's-
a Resident Evil game, so if, like, of course the story isn't like a primary thing that they should be concerned about. It's like that was my problem with 7, is that there wasn't any story to the game.
Yeah, I'm glad that they added the story to the game.
Like
8 gives 7 a story, and I actually really like that.
yeah, I really like that too. Another complaint that like critics are throwing at the game is that like there's bad pacing throughout it, which I never felt at all.
I don't think. I think all the battles are like really well made and separated, and the tension builds up really well with the story. But it's just me.
Yeah, because the way it works is that it puts you in the village, and then you go into the castle, and then you like start to get a feel for like your weapons and stuff. And as soon as you get comfortable, it throws you into
Boob lady territory, and then you're like, whoa.
no, you're feeling pretty good at that point, but then you go to the doll maker, and then you get all your weapons stripped away from you. People complain.
The thing is, I thought the game, like when because I haven't seen anything about it. I haven't seen any trailers, nothing. I only seen the meme trailer where Chris kills Mia. So I thought the entire game was gonna be in Castle Dimitrescu. And then once like you killed Lady Dimitrescu like 1 hour into the game, and then I was like, wait, is that it? And then no, there's like fucking 5 other people that you need to kill in this massive universe. I was expecting something really mediocre. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, I was skeptical going into the game just because I was scared that it was gonna be like 7, where it's just like they would have this really mediocre like linear thing that wouldn't go anywhere. But they really opened it up and just like let you explore everything.
Yeah, every like all the guns and the merchant Duke. I love Duke. He's such a fucking fun character.
Yeah, the only complaint that I have about it is that there's some areas that lock off after you go through them, like you can't go back into the castle,
Hmm.
which kind of sucks, especially if you were like saving stuff for later.
Hmm.
But oh well.
I didn't know it locked the castle off,
Yeah, it's kind of crappy,
or
but it's
just
alright.
never realized it. Yeah.
Yeah, but the complaint is that like the flow doesn't make any sense because for some they think that like because you get your gun taken away for like a tiny little like literally probably a 15-minute section if that that it's breaking up the pace of the game to an unplayable degree.
Yeah, imagine if you just had your fucking gun and you did the same thing for all of the bosses. I guess that's gaming for them, just fucking Call of Dutying everything, but
Yeah, and then they complain that the like entire game turns into Call of Duty. But
yeah,
like
but they want Call of Duty, like what the hell,
it's
man?
like what do you want? Do you want the game to be no weapons throughout the entire thing and be super boring, or do you want it to just be Call of Duty? Because it seems like either way they complain.
And they will
There's
always complain.
yeah, it's I guess it's just what like I mean by like just critics anymore. Just I guess don't have a purpose on YouTube, if that makes sense.
I just don't know. I don't know why people follow game journalists in the first place. Like, are you fucking retarded?
Yeah, I used to follow it because like when I
Watch it
was
for yourself.
younger.
Stop being a fucking sheep.
I
You
mean,
know?
I used to follow it when I was younger, back when I like didn't have the money to just buy games. Of
Yeah,
like,
but you have YouTube. You can see people playing it for yourself. You don't. You can still, even if you don't have the game, you can judge the game by yourself.
yeah. So like, I mean,
There's no excuse for watching a video game journalist.
there's literally no good reason to watch a video game review. Like, if you want an idea of like what you're getting yourself into, and you just want a rundown of it, I can see why someone would want to watch a review. But at the same time, it's gotten to the point where the reviews are just so biased, especially for Resident Evil, that like, what's the point?
Yeah, I don't know. If the review's bad.
But would you like to do a little review of the game right now?
What do you mean a little review?
Like
Write a
just
little.
yeah, we right off the top of our heads, we do our own little Resident Evil review.
Not enough black people did.
Not enough.
Yeah, should, Romania, where everybody's white. I think there should be more people of color.
Yeah, that should be the next virus. It should just like
Just yeah,
it
just
makes their melanin.
George Floyd plague.
You can't say that, Vider.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I can censor that. I guess. I'm editing this. I literally don't care.
Okay. Man.
Hey, you wanna see a funny bleep? Watch this.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to censor that out. Is this the 1840 mark? I'll have to look out for that.
dude. Yeah. Just remember to censor that.
Yeah, I'll censor that, alright. But yeah, the next virus is gonna be, it infects people and it just, like, makes the melanin, thing in their cells, like, go on overdrive. And it
Just
just, like,
literally turns them black.
transracializes. Yeah. I think that's the virus that the series needs. And then Chris Redfield.
Yeah, and
It's
then Chris Redfield
POC.
turns black because he gets, infected.
Yeah, I can
And
see
then he
that.
just remains like that for like the next 10 years without any explanation.
Yeah. I can see
feel-
that. It's the future
I
of the
feel like
series.
that. Yeah, I think that should be the future of the series. Just no explanation. Black Redfield,
Chris Blackfield.
Tyrone Redfield.
No, no. Oh no, we can't have that or he'll be the first person to die in the next game. I'm not ready for that.
True, but he can be like the black dude that saves everybody, because I've seen that a lot in horror movies.
Yeah, that is a thing that happens here and there in horror movies. I don't watch enough horror, I guess, to have too good of an idea. I still need to watch like the Resident Evil live action movies.
They are very interesting, but Wesker looks like a Bollywood character. He is so weird. Like they could have just grabbed a normal character. He has so much hair gel. His hairline is just a runway, dude. It's so bad.
Oh my god.
But the rest is actually really cool because they have like Claire and Redfield and shit like that, and they like put all of that. And I like the movies. A lot of people
Resident
don't,
Evil
but
Vendetta is looking pretty good. I mean, that's my favorite one.
I mean, I would have to rewatch like all of the movies.
No, the animated one that we watched together.
Oh
Vendetta.
yeah, I thought you were still talking about the
Oh yeah,
live actions.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Vendetta is easily one of the best Resident Evil like pieces of media ever.
It's hilarious, and I love it.
It also got negative reviews when it came out.
Why?
Because critics were like, there's too much action for some fucking reason.
It's
Even
a
though it's
Resident
movie.
Evil movie. What the fuck do you want? Downtown Abbey? Fuck.
No, they want to be like Avengers Civil War where they just talk for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
And then like
3
there's
hours
one
of nothing
gunshot.
happening. Speaking of that, or should we leave that for our next episode? Like movies and Marvel.
I actually have an idea for that. Yeah, we'll save more of the MCU for the next episode. Because
Yeah, sure.
that'll be fun to poke a stick at.
I'm
But,
like poking a stick at marble.
Yeah, I think it was the Angry Joe review that I was watching. Because, like, I actually kind of agreed with a lot of, like, the points in it. Like, here and there. Like, he did say that, like, what did he say? He said that, like, hopefully that the next game isn't another, like, Ethan, like, Winters story. Not specifically him, but, like, his daughter. I feel like they're making a trilogy out of it.
I don't think his daughter is gonna be the next one because she's mold and kind of invincible. But
Yeah.
I think I think it's probably gonna be like a Chris Redfield game. Because
Yeah.
okay, the Ethan trilogy is done, so they're probably gonna either make a new character or put in Chris Redfield or Leon.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Leon Kennedy.
That's what I'm hoping for. But but one of his complaints was just like that we haven't gotten enough like new Leon Kennedy stuff. But like Resident Evil 2 remake came out before this. Resident Evil 3 remake came out.
2 remake, 4 remake is coming out as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the Oculus exclusive VR.
No. I mean proper remake.
Yeah. And yeah, that makes like that's technically new content. Also, and then like that on top of like Infinite Dark. Is it called Infinite Darkness or Internal Darkness? Is coming out on Netflix.
I think it's Infinite Darkness.
Yeah, like just because it's not a game doesn't mean that there's no new like content in that scenario. He'd even mention that like any of that in the review, which I guess he's just reviewing the game, but at the same time he's saying that there's no new content even though there is.
I mean, yeah. What the fuck are their remakes? If it's not new content.
I have no idea. Like, it just seems like critics with this game don't know what they want to say about it. It's like they all like the game, but they just feel ashamed for liking it because it ruins all of their previous arguments.
Not enough black people.
I guess. Because, like, with Resident Evil, it turned into, like, 5 was, like, the death of the series, but then people were like... But then they cope so hard, then they say, like, oh, actually, Resident Evil 4 started to be the death of the series, because that's when they started the over-the-shoulder perspective.
How? What the fuck?
Yeah, if you watch, like, reviews, like, it just gets worse and worse over time of, like, people, like, trying to cope that it's not a 50-hour-long puzzle game.
I know, I like action. It's good. It's good for humans. Humans like action. I like action. I'm human. Give
I'm a
me
human
action.
too. Yeah, give me action. That's what I want.
Especially when action has actually a story to it, like Resident Evil 8 or Resident Evil Village by now on stores.
Buy now on the Steam store. Just
Yeah.
don't waste your money with the deluxe edition.
Please tell us why you shouldn't waste your money in the deluxe edition.
Okay, so hold on, let me pull up Steam real quick. Let me go to library. Resident Evil Village. Store page. Yes, I am age appropriate. Okay, so the game on its own costs like $60, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And then you have the trauma pack, which you pretty much unlock like a couple cosmetics for safe rooms that you're never going to use because safe rooms literally only exist in like 3 points in this game. And then you can also turn the typewriters into the tape recorders, which that also doesn't make any sense because why would you want to do that? Since it makes it just literally makes no sense. And then you get a gun, the Wesker gun, that
It's useless.
is a downgrade. You'll use it
Yeah.
for the first area for 5 minutes and then you'll never touch it again. Like, there's not even a special challenge to use it. Like, if there's a challenge that was like, oh, beat the game using it, then yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But they don't even do that. And then you
I guess it's
unlock...
just stupid. I don't know.
Yeah, and then you unlock Village of Shadows difficulty before... But you get Village of Shadows difficulty by just beating the game once. On, like, normal mode, so...
It'd be good if you unlocked Village of Shadows on, like, after beating hard mode and you got an achievement for each mode you beat. I don't know if that's the case, because, you know, I haven't played the game, I only watched videos.
So, like, how it works is if you, whatever difficulty you beat the game on, you unlock the achievement for that difficulty and all the difficulties below it.
Mm-hmm.
Of, like,
That's
beating.
stupid. I think you should be able to unlock, like, one achievement per...
Yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, if you buy it, then you can play Village of Shadows on your first run, I guess, but you don't want to do that because it's impossible amounts of difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it just seems like you're paying money for nothing. You also get the Tragedy of Ethan Winters, like, storybook type thing, which is kind of cool, but it doesn't justify the price tag on this of $13 for nothing. And the user reviews are mostly negative. It's just bad. I think that might be my only complaint about the game, rather than what I said earlier.
Still think there should be some more black people.
Yeah, definitely. Man.
I can't take myself seriously.
What was your favorite part of Resident Evil 8?
Oh, definitely the Donna house.
The Donna house?
Yeah, it was such a cool experience. I don't know, it was very a PT-esque.
Yeah, that a lot of reviewers are like comparing it to PT. And like I never even played PT. I hardly know anything about it, but even I, like when I was playing it with you, like I was like, yeah, this reminds me of that PT
yeah,
thing.
we said it sounds like PT.
Yeah, it was pretty
It
funny.
not sounds, it's PT. Yeah.
So like obviously I think they not copy, but like they took something out of that. Oh man, I'm yawning all of a sudden.
Hmm?
Oh, I yawned.
Mm.
I think a section in the game that really grew on me, like the more playthroughs I did, was the what was it? The factory with Carl Heisenberg.
Also, the factory grew on you.
Yeah, I really like the enemies there, and I really wish they got used a bit more.
That's good.
Easily,
Yeah, the enemies are really different. Like, instead of being just weird, like, vampire boob ladies and weird lichens, it's like these really cool, like, steampunky zombie things.
Yeah, easily the worst part of the like entire game is. Oh man, I would have to say the mercenaries mode kind of sucks. It's
No,
not
that's
that
not
good.
really the main part of the game.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true. So
out
like
of
I
the
can't
main
complain too
game,
much.
yeah, out of the main game, which one for you was the worst part?
Hmm. I would say the worst part of the entire game would probably be, at least the part that I always look forward to playing the least. I don't want to say Moreau's area because I actually kind of liked Moreau's area. So I might say Domitresk because once you play it once, you never really like have the same fun experience with it again. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like you know everything to expect and you can like have a foolproof route.
I mean, I guess, yeah, because you go in, like, expecting... Because, like, you're going in it for the first time and you're like, oh my god, I'm about to meet this, like, super memed character that everybody loves, and then, like, you meet her, and then...
Yeah, and it's not fair when like critics go into this and they complain that Domitresk isn't in the game enough because Capcom can't control when a character becomes a meme on the internet. So, to a
Yeah,
point,
it
it's not
wasn't
really.
even... It was so bad that I think the art director for the game had to come out and say, like, oh yeah, she's 9 feet 6 inches tall and she can step on you. That's how...
This is pretty
fucking...
funny.
Yeah, it's so retarded.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb. I mean, yeah, I guess Domitresk is big funny, but it's not that funny.
I really like her, like, as a proper character, I guess. She's interesting.
Yeah, she's a good leeway into the game. That's another thing I like about this
Yeah,
game more than
it's
7.
it's not too, like, retarded, it's not too retarded where you're always running away from her and you can't pay attention to anything else, like,
Mm-hmm.
Nemesis from Mr. X. And you can, still enjoy the castle and her parts without being too
Yeah, like
stressed.
they don't overlap to the point where it's just not fun to play.
Hmm.
I think another part where the castle shines is just like, oh man, how do I want to put this?
I think it's the part where, like, the graphics are most
Yeah, they
there.
definitely put the graphics a lot into that point, and I'm not someone who really cares about graphics too much, so I mean, I guess if people like that, it's kind of cool, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Because, start of the game, they really need to make it beautiful so people get hooked in, and then once people forget about the textures and they start concentrating on the game, they can put the resolution down.
Would you agree that the characters in this game are miles better than Seven's?
Yeah, I can agree, but I still like how this game gives a lot more everything to the characters in 7.
Yeah, because what I didn't like about 7 was like, you go into the house and like it's cartoonishly violent. And like this game has cartoonishly violent parts, like when Ethan's hand gets cut off, it's pretty funny. Because like you just see it like flop off, but like in 7, like you have this family scene where they're all like yelling at each other. And like you feel like it's
Yeah.
like supposed to be this sitcom-y type situation.
I like how there's a scene in 7 that really pisses me off. Because, like, okay, because, Ethan is mold at that
Uh-huh.
point. But he knows, he thinks he's a normal human. He has no experience with anything. And then Jack chops his fucking leg off. And then this retard, this absolute fucking piece of shit Ethan, he just puts his leg back on and then he puts some fucking, some spray green gamer juice water on it. And then his leg just fucking heals immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Like,
it kind of
what
makes
the fuck?
sense. I mean, because canonically he was already like
Yeah,
molding at
like,
that point, but like
yeah, he is, but he doesn't have any survival, training at that point because he's
yeah,
retarded. He's just Ethan. He doesn't know he's mold, and he doesn't know what the meds do. So why the fuck?
yeah. I mean,
You get
maybe.
your leg chopped off, and you just fucking put some healing salve on it. It's like,
I
oh well, I
mean,
guess
in
it's better
the
now.
tutorial script house, he does like use a healing item. He does know about him, I guess.
Well, yeah, but like he hasn't, like, he hasn't fixed like bullet wounds, not bullet wounds. He hasn't fixed like super bad damage. It's just like some cuts that Mia gave him because he held the knife like
Yeah,
by
yeah,
the cutty part.
I
So
mean,
he's like,
maybe
oh yeah,
he
I might as
just
well.
like saw that his hand was stapled back on, and he just like used context clues. He was like, I can do this myself.
It's still retarded.
It is really stupid. It doesn't make much like it's cartoonish. Like
Because
violence is what I
he
don't like
wakes
about it.
up to people stapling his arm, so he can't even make the connection that the stupid healing juice gives him superpower. I don't know. It's
Pretty
retarded.
much, yeah. That's what I don't like because like you see Jack and this like when you compare Jack like yelling and doing these like cartoonish quips.
Yeah. Also, I don't. I guess I'm shitting on a game I really like now that I'm like analyzing it. I really don't like Jack's parts because since he's constantly fucking chasing you, you can't. I feel, at least I feel personally, that I can't enjoy the game properly because I have to constantly be stressed with this piece of shit behind me, and if he catches me, it's just instant game over.
Yeah, like when
So
you're in
just
his
yeah.
section, you're just looping around in the hallway. There's nothing really to like hide from him because like it seems like the game is encouraging you to like juke him somehow by like blocking, but he'll always grab you because he's faster than you.
hmm
And it's just really
Then
lazily put together at that
yeah, and
scene.
then once you kill him, it's like a bigger relief than it should be because he's dead and you can finally breathe and walk around the house. But then you turn a corner, there he is again. He's a fucking mold monster thingy. Fuck
It's
me.
like, oh, yeah, because like comparing that with like Domitresk, like the personalities are a lot different.
Yeah,
Like,
Domitresk disappears. You can not. He doesn't disappear, but she keeps constantly walking around that massive castle. So you always have that time to breathe and walk around normally and do stuff and enjoy stuff. But with Jack, you can't really do that since you're in a small shit ass Louisiana house and he's always in front of you or behind you.
yeah, and it's like with Domitresk, it's like it's a better kind of horror because it's the kind of horror where like you know that they're there somewhere in the
Plus,
castle, you just don't know
instead
where.
of just being a retarded hick character, she actually like interacts, and you see how mad she gets once you start killing her daughters, and it's just that I don't know, it's just a good character,
And
cause
then like
yeah,
Jack fucking cutting his kid's legs off or arm off or whatever.
yeah, like he
It's just like
what what the fuck?
yeah, it's just like the characters in 8 have so much more depth to them than 7.
Yeah, I
You
still like
actually,
7. That's a good game. It's a fun game.
yeah, I need to try to push through 7 sometime. I still need to beat it. I think I might go through it sometime this summer. But I don't know, because like I kept like giving up on 7. Like I'd play it for an hour, then stop. But yeah,
I feel like they should try to do what they did with 6,
oh,
but less convoluted and less shit.
yeah, Chris's story arc in this was like the exact same as 6. Because like he
Yeah,
has
like
a person he wants to protect.
another character causes a problem, and then Chris goes there to fucking save the world.
Yeah, but like this is like a thing. Chris's character doesn't like get the love it deserves, I think, because his biggest flaw is that he wants to save everyone himself. Not
hmm
because he's like greedy or anything, but like just because he doesn't want other people to get hurt. Like he wants to save everyone, including the people who are supposed to help him.
hmm
So he doesn't want to put anyone in danger. So like people who say like it doesn't make sense of how he treated Ethan, I think it makes sense. Just because like after
Yeah,
6, what happened with like Pierce and stuff,
because
like
I guess
that's
he doesn't
integral to his
want
character.
Not Chris. I'm sorry. Ethan is a civilian, and you know, he's not like someone like Leon who is used to this type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan is a full-on civilian, so the dude has like no business getting like mixed in with the BSAA. So that's like
Yeah.
one point, I guess, for me. Another point is that just I don't know. Um, I
Yeah, because like Chris probably feels like he
yeah,
has a duty to like not screw this up, and he really
yeah.
doesn't want Ethan to die. Uh,
but I guess Ethan dies anyway.
yeah, I cried when he died. They did a really good job, like,
No, yeah,
with
they
Ethan's character.
yeah, they made him a hero, definitely. I liked what they did with this character. It
I'm
was
so glad
funny.
they gave him a character to begin with, because, like, with 7, it was just like all the neckbeard critics were just like, it's truly Ethan is, instead of a character, he's a vessel for the player to interact with this world.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hated that.
Half-Life. I love Half-Life, dude.
Because
Fucking shit.
Resident Evil isn't a series like that. Half of what makes Resident Evil is its characters. Because, like, when you think of it, what do you think about? Do you think of, like, the gameplay, or do you think of, like, all the characters in this story?
I think it was really interesting what they tried doing.
What they tried doing was interesting, but it just didn't feel like a Resident Evil game.
Mm-hmm.
But they managed to actually take, like, what made Resident Evil with, like, the campiness and the horror and stuff, like,
Mm.
both new and old, and, like, merge it together with what 7 was trying to do, and 8 does, like, a perfect balance of everything.
Yeah. 8 is like the perfect mix of like 4 and a new game.
Yeah, 8 is a really good, just, like, middle ground for everyone to, like, everyone's gonna go into it, and they're gonna find one thing that they like.
Also, it's a really good like. I was gonna say it's a good starter, but it's not.
Nah, you're gonna go into it, and you're gonna be like, who the hell's this? That was
Yeah.
Chris Redfield.
What the fuck is this child? Why is this woman getting shot? Who is this absolute fucking unit of a man saying I'm sorry, Ethan?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Ethan.
because the thing that sucks is you see a lot of critics, like, complaining about the game, and you can tell that they don't know anything about the characters, of, like, why they would do that. It's like, they'd hate Chris because, like, why would he, like, potentially, like, mess with Ethan with that way of, like, not telling him anything. But if you know Chris's character, it makes perfect sense of why he wouldn't, because it's just, like, a flaw in his character that they built up over multiple games. But oh well, I guess I don't know. It's such a weird situation.
Yeah.
What else can we talk about with it?
I don't know. It's just a really good game, and that I just think that people should,
I love
play
it.
it.
I'm on, like, my 5th playthrough right now. When I beat
It's
Village
really
of
good.
Shadows, I'll finally have the rocket pistol. Oh man. Can we just say that Moreau got, like, the worst end of everything?
Well, yeah, I feel bad for Moreau because, he's just like chilling, literally eating in a whole ass wheel of cheese, and then like here comes fucking Chad Winters and fucking kills.
Chad thing comes
I
in,
fucking
starts
what? Like Moreau
blowing lead.
literally just lets him walk away with Rose. He's just like, and then Reason's like, no, fuck you, and then he just like, oh, he just take the fucking thing away, and then he gets thingy.
And then he has
So,
to, like, I need to do this because Mother
Yeah.
Miranda really wants me to, and then he does it, but then he dies. And I feel bad when I kill Moreau. So many people feel bad when they killed Moreau.
I guess just because like Moreau is like who everybody relates to the most because everybody's fucking dead inside.
Yeah, I love Moreau, and hopefully he, in some life, wasn't completely died.
I don't know. Maybe he's always swimming with fishies or whatever.
He's resurrected into a goldfish.
Or as a goldfish.
Oh my god. Yeah, I guess
Okay.
they can revert back to their old form after they transform. Like, with a dummy trust, because, like, one of her lines of dialogue was, like, when you're
Yeah,
in the
true.
boss
Like only
fight.
Mother Miranda has seen this. I guess the only reason why you're able, because like okay, if in Resident Evil lore, if you if you evolve too fast, you're gonna be super vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
But like these lords, they have been transformed for like a century at least.
Yeah, I'd say like 50
So
years at least.
yeah, that's why you can't like. That's why you can't. That's why if you shoot Domitresk, nothing happens. She doesn't even flinch. She's just
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh,
not even
you
like
bitch.
Mr. X where he gets stunned or like
Yeah,
Nemesis even.
or even Nemesis. Yeah,
So like
I
yeah,
hate
she
how
just
she's
sits there.
taller than Nemesis. Like
Yeah, that does
she's
kind of suck.
fucking almost 3 feet taller than that absolute fucking unit.
But I
He
guess that kind of
looks
makes sense.
okay in Resident Evil 3. You realize like how big he is, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's just absolutely massive. Imagine seeing Lady Dimitrescu while you're in like this third-person perspective, being 9 foot 6 fucking inches tall.
That'd be really funny, and I can't wait for someone to make a third-person mod of this game.
Oh god, it'd be hilarious.
I'm sure someone will make one eventually, since it's just
Could,
like they have to port over some assets from like 2 or 3 maybe.
yeah.
It can't be that hard. I mean, of course
I
it's
know,
modding,
'cause
it's probably hard, but if you know what you're doing.
I guess I don't like I don't like first person a lot because you can't really get a scale of all the characters.
Yeah,
You know, you're in
I
first
didn't
person.
mind the first person, but in some scenarios, I guess it's like back and forth.
Yeah.
When
And
you're
the houses
being,
was perfect. The Donna house.
yeah, in the Donna house, it made sense. Like, I honestly wouldn't have minded if they just switched back and forth between third and first person,
Hmm.
but
But I think like in the Dimitrescu castle, I think it was a bad idea because you can't get like that full scale
yeah.
of her.
Honestly, what they should have done is just had an option to like tick if you want first person on or off. It literally would not have changed anything.
Actually, yeah, because like Doom has that option of like changing the viewpoints. Like, oh, you can change it to classic or you can change it to modern, and I really like that because
Yeah, I
the
guess
games. Yeah.
also they would have to show Ethan's face.
Or not, they can just blur it or something. Do like.
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, maybe they could like do
uh,
Resident Evil 4 where you can only see the backside of him. I don't know, but like,
I don't
I guess that's
know
why they
why.
didn't do it.
Why are they so scared of showing his face? Everybody knows what it
Yeah,
looks like.
everyone has already seen his face. It doesn't matter. I don't know. It's so weird. But
I guess it's that whole idea where like, oh, we want you to put yourself into the character, but then Ethan like talks the whole game, so you can't do that.
they gave him a character anyways, which is not a bad thing. That's not what we're saying.
You know, I like it. I like
He needs a
him
character.
having a character.
He should
yeah,
have a
but-
character. Like, don't be
but-
scared to make your first person view character a character.
Yeah, it worked in Half-Life because there's no story. I mean, there is story, but like, you know, all the characters do the dialogue for you, so you don't have Gordon Freeman doesn't
Yeah.
have to talk, so you can put yourself
'Cause
in his shoes.
The problem with Ethan is that, not really the problem, but the problem that they made for themselves by trying to do that was they gave him voice lines to begin with. So, like,
Yeah,
obviously, this dude has, like, a personality. He's sentient outside of the player, but...
Mia, what the fuck are you doing here?
yeah, he's sentient outside of what the player, like, thinks and registers, so...
Yeah, meanwhile, Gordon Freeman is just literally this brain-dead brute that massacres an entire alien race.
Yeah, so... I like that they gave him more of a personality, and it was great. Yeah, that was a really good evolution of his character. Oh man, Domitresk. What do you rate Domitresk out of 10?
Dude, 10. I love her. She's a really nice character.
She's really good. I don't get how she's too attractive personally.
I mean, to me, she's not because I don't like MILFs that are 5 meters tall, but, you know, it's just me.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like you look at her skin and she's like completely covered in like white paste.
No, she is white.
No, like if you really zoom in on her like skin, it's like all makeup.
Is it actually?
Yeah, it's all
No, her
makeup.
skin is like gray and fucked up because she's a vampire.
Yeah, her skin is gray, but there's also like a layer of like makeup over all of it.
Yeah, plus I don't know. I guess we're getting into the more sexual side of everything. I hate like massive boobs. Her boobs probably weigh as much as fucking Ethan does.
Maybe.
I'm gonna be honest, because she's at least 900 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's be perfectly honest. So her boobs are like
I guess people just
Ethan.
want to be crushed by her, I guess.
I
don't know.
know.
Well, we've just hit 50 minutes of either.
Yeah, I guess it's because Capcom also made her fucking dummy thick, but you know.
Oh, wow. So, final thoughts on Resident Evil 8, and what would you
Resident
rate it out
Evil
of 10?
8 gets an 8 out of 10
8 out
for
of
me.
10?
I think it could improve in a few things.
Yeah, definitely one thing they could improve was, like, one of the issues was that because it was, like, there was no FOV settings from the very beginning.
Yeah, that made me sick at the start. Like, it feels really claustrophobic even though
Yeah.
you're, like,
You should
out
be
in
able to
the
see
open.
more. Like, it should have been in third person for that regard, because, like, you have no awareness of your surroundings when the FOV
Yeah.
is zoomed in like that. If you're in a room or something, like indoors, you don't really notice it. But when you're outside, it's really painful to navigate like that. But for me, I would easily give it probably like, since I hardly ever replay games like that, I would give it an 8.5. 1.5 gone just because Mercenaries could have been better, and spatial awareness is
I
definitely
give
the
it
biggest problem.
I give it an 8 because I think the lines could be delivered a lot better.
Yeah, some of
Especially on Dimitrescu's side, and Mia's side, and Heisenberg's side. He sounds retarded, I'm sorry.
I liked Heisenberg's voice. It grew on me.
Yeah, it's very, I don't know, it's very him, but it still sounds retarded. I can't, like, it's really...
The thing about his voice that I like is that it's because with Resident Evil games they've always had like iffy voice acting, and I don't mind it since it's just a part of the
look at
game.
me, I am Heisenberg, I need to kill Miranda, I don't know if I'm Australian or fucking, I
He's a
don't know.
redditor, dude.
Yeah, he's literally a Redditor. I
I
think
mean,
we...
there was one voice line that really bothers me that like I actually
Mm.
think about here and there.
Mm.
Okay. When the Duke is explaining the story, he delivers the line. The line is specifically, first you need to collect all of your little roses flasks. He doesn't say it like, first you need to collect all of your little roses flasks. He says, first you need to collect all of your little roses flasks. Like it's kind of insinuating that there's different kinds of flasks, or there's something else that you need to do. And it's,
Yeah,
the way he
another
delivers that line
line...
bothers me so much.
Another blind delivery that bothers me a lot is Dimitrescu when you kill all of her daughters, and she puts 2 question marks in, like, the attenuation. She's like, the entire Dimitrescu bloodline has been done in by the likes of you, and it's delivered in such a weird way.
It's delivered in a weird way. I kind of like that line.
I don't
It's a
know.
really cheesy, hammed up line. I kind of like it.
But other than that, I like how her voice is, like, super bassy.
Oh
Because,
yeah, in
you
the
know,
opening cutscene, it's just bass. You can tell that like there's
Mother Miranda!
you can hear the echo in the recording studio, and that's not even a joke. You can start to hear like it reverb into the microphone.
I don't think it's even the recording studio's fault. I just think that the voice actor has such a booming fucking voice that it could do.
It was really like you heard it, right?
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
Mother Miranda! You're like, oh god, fuck.
Yeah, it's just like destroying your headphones. It's really funny. God, we've gone like 54 minutes. We didn't talk about the Duke yet. The Duke is a 10 out of 10.
Duke. He's a 10 out of 10. It's literally Paracynical put in the game.
Dude, they literally held up what Resident Evil 4 had with their merchant, if not a little better. So,
Yeah,
you know
because
what? It was good.
I think that Duke is better than the merchant in Resident Evil 4 because the Duke actually has a personality. He helps Ethan and he gives, like, story stuff.
Yeah.
I really like the Duke.
Yeah, he actually has like an input on the story. You can tell that like
Yeah,
even
like
if he is using you for any kind of his own gain, he still puts your interests like
yeah,
first.
like he helps you. He gives you advice. He explains you what's going on. He explains who the lords are. He explains like what Mother Miranda is, and I don't know. He's just a super nice character. Plus, when you fucking die, he's the one that picks you up. It
Yeah.
like puts him in his little fucking Reddit carriage thing because he
His-
can't fucking walk, fat ass fucking.
yeah, he's definitely like one of the best characters in Resident Evil.
I still think that Parasynical should have voiced him.
Nah, I liked his voice.
Well, I'm joking, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
like his
you're.
voice
I know
too.
you're joking, but his voice is
But I don't
pretty
know. Yeah,
good.
yeah, I hate how he looks like Parasynical, like fat Parasynical. It just pisses me off.
It's funny to me. I
I
don't
love
mind
it,
it. I
but
like his character
yeah,
design.
it's just funny.
Just chilling. If I had to rank this with like, I'd say this is like in my top 3 favorite Resident Evil games.
Yeah, same, same.
My favorite would probably be. What would my favorite one be? I think when it, because I'm thinking in terms of replayability, I'd say 5 would be my favorite, just because it's so fun to replay.
Hmm.
Personally, I know you hate 6, but I would also put 6 in there, just
I
because the
love,
Mercenaries is really fun.
I love
And the replayability.
6. Mercenary is good. There's a lot of replayability, and I love Leon's story. That's the only story I genuinely like.
You don't like Jake and Sherry's?
Oh yeah, and Jake and I forgot they were in the game. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I really like Jake and Sherry's story, but I don't know. It's way less than Chris and the other man's that I forgot the name of.
Yeah, so did you change your opinion on 6? 'Cause I thought you hated it, like,
No.
completely.
I still hate how they just changed the fucking viewpoint out of nowhere, and that genuinely ruins the entire game for me. Like top-down
Yeah,
view,
that.
fixed camera, that just ruins the game for me.
But I thought
But
that that's what the neckbeard critics want. See, this is the future that this is the
yeah, but they
future
criticize
neckbeards
the
want.
game. They criticize the game anyways, I guess. I really like Resident Evil 6 because, like, one, the game looks amazing. I love the way that they portray China in that game. That's, like, my favorite way of, like, if someone is gonna do, like, art of an Asian city,
Mhm.
I like it to be done like that, with a lot of neon, a lot of, like, gritty, weird shit, and I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but Resident Evil 6 does it really well, and I really like Jake and Sherry's story. I think it's something really interesting to put Wesker's son in that. I really like Leon's story because, like, he's way older and, like, he has to,
It's easily my
go
favorite
prison.
Leon design.
Yeah, Simmons is retarded.
I really hope they bring back Jake and Sherry at some point. At least Jake. I feel like they really set something up
Yeah.
with him, and they just
I feel
never
like
went back on it.
I mean, Jake is probably 6 years old at this point, but I think he could relate a lot to with Rose.
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe they can be like a power duo or something like that. Rose,
Maybe.
Sherry, and Jake. Three
Because
people.
that gives, yeah, that's 3 confirmed like superhuman
Yeah,
characters at
that
this
are
point.
that are actually good.
Yeah, so I guess that leaves that story where it is. There's 3 confirmed now superhuman characters that exist in the universe. Chris still exists. I
Mhm.
guess we'll just see where Infinite Darkness leads with the story.
I don't know. I'm excited for the movies as well, like the live action movies that are gonna come out.
Hmm. Oh yeah, I forgot that was even a thing.
Yeah, and they're gonna follow the games like
That's good.
they're gonna follow the games a lot more closely.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm just excited. I think there's gonna be a lot Resident Evil stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of stuff coming up here in the future, which I'm happy for.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you said you want to give it an 8. I give it an 8.5. It is near perfect except for very, very few flaws that kind of really put a damper on a couple of things, but
Yeah, I feel like everything bad in Resident Evil 8 is like charming in some way, except for the FOV. Fuck the FOV.
yeah, the FOV is awful. I don't know what
Yeah,
Capcom was thinking
but
with
like
that.
the line deliveries are bad, but not bad, but some line deliveries are bad, but still charming. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. Capcom always like Resident Evil at least always had that like off-putting like voice line delivery, which just makes
Hmm.
the games what they are. But yeah, I guess that'll wrap up episode 1 of our gamer show, dude.
It was great. We actually managed to keep the conversation going for like an hour.
Yeah, timer's on an hour 30 seconds.
I'm surprised.
Well, I guess we'll record again sometime. Now that I actually have this started, I'm sure we'll do this a lot more often.
Yeah, it's easier than I thought it would be, I guess.
Well, we're not like doing a crappy like H3H3 podcast where like he has a list in front of him and he's just
Hmm.
asking questions. I don't know. I thought this was like, okay, I have a topic and then
Yeah.
just branch off as we go. That's how I like to
Hmm.
do it.
Well, if you could get like anyone to talk to, like just genuinely have just a genuine conversation with anyone in the world, like who would you bring on?
Jesus, I don't know. Uh, Probably one of the YouTubers that I watch. I mean, if I want to ask Simeon Jimmy a question, I could just subscribe to his Patreon.
True, yeah.
Because, I mean, honestly, that show is what wanted to get me into doing this. Is his podcasts. I love his shows.
Funny.
But yeah, I think that'll wrap it up. Vitor, say something
Yeah.
funny to close us off. Do the closing statement.
Um, Big boobs are funny, but story is much better.